Welcome, collectors. The time is now. It's been a long year, but we've made it to the end. This is the final case of 2020 for the Matchbox Basic range. It is the X case. So, there's going to be some repeats in here, but mostly, I would have to say this is probably the most highly anticipated case of the year for two main reasons. The Bugatti Divo is going to be in here, and also the new Corvette. So let's not waste any more time and get this thing cracked open and do the unboxing. So as I said, this should be in stores now. Walmart's, Target's, Meijer's, all of them should be getting it. However, I think honestly this is probably going to be the hardest one to find with everything that is in here. So as always, I would highly suggest you pick up your case from my good friends at JCarDiecast.com. That way you can avoid the frustration of peg hunting and just get your case all in one spot. So here is the top-down view. As you can see, looks like we have a full case of 24 cars, which is important. So let's just start from the top and work our way down. First car out of the case is number 60 of 100. This is the Matchbox 20 Jeep Gladiator in red. Very nice looking Jeep. As you can see, nothing on the front and nothing on the rear. But I do like the Jeep tampo on the side and the fact that the doors and the top have been removed. Very nice looking Jeep. Again, this is number 60 of 100 and part of the MTBX Jungle series. Next to that, we have another Jeep. This is a holdover from the last case, number 1 of 100, the 2019 Jeep Renegade, part of the Matchbox City series. Again, nice green color there, tampos on the front and tampos on the rear. This was certainly one of the best sellers of the last case, so it's nice to see that it has returned in this case for those of us that couldn't find it in the last assortment. Next, we have one of my personal favorites. This debuted last year. This is the 15 Mercedes-Benz G550, G550 rather, commonly referred to as the G-Wagon. Last year we saw it in purple. This year it is in a nice dark blue color. Number 36 of 100, part of the Matchbox Highway series. Again, nice Mercedes-Benz tampo on the spare tire cover on the rear, and full tampos on the front. And new for this case, if you look at the bottom left-hand side, you can see the Mattel logo on the card, similar to what they started doing with the Hot Wheel cards just a couple months ago. Next, let's take a look at what we have up here. Ooh, this is nice. Number 78 of 100, the 2016 Ford Interceptor utility. This is a licensed and real-world livery for El Segundo PD, or El Segundo Police. Very nicely done. Definitely I can see those of us that want to build up an El Segundo Police fleet. They actually do use Ford Interceptors. So you can actually Google and look it up. And again, this is a real-world livery. Very, very nice, black with the thin blue line. And again, the light bar is actually part of the window in the casting, and you do have a trailer hitch at the rear. Certainly, definitely a highlight of the case for me is the 2016 Ford Interceptor utility. Again, we've seen this recently as a fire chief vehicle and also in California Highway Patrol. Next, wow, haven't seen this in a couple decades. This is the Porsche 911 Carrera Cabriolet, a pearl white color with a beige or tan interior. Does it say? Yeah, 1998 on the base, so 22 years old. Makes a return for this year. Very nice car. Tampos on the front with the headlights and the Porsche badge. And then you have Carrera on the back with the headlights, or excuse me, the taillights as well. That's pretty awesome looking. Number 37 of 100, again, part of the Matchbox City lineup. Here's another holdover from the last case, but a welcome addition. The 1968 Dodge D200. Again, another truck that debuted last year to critical acclaim. This is now its second color in this black with a red pinstripe on it. Number 65 of 100, the MTBX Jungle series again. Stellar artwork as always. Great to see this being one of the holdovers. Next out of the case, it is the third Jeep in this case already. Number 80 of 100, this is the Jeep 4x4, or the Jeep CJ7. Pretty sweet looking. This is, again, another older Matchbox casting, because I had this one growing up when I was very little, so this is at least 20 years old. Part of the Matchbox Mountain series. Again, very nice, simplistic, realistic tampos on it. And I do like the exhaust on the side that exits just in front of the rear tire. Pretty cool looking. This will be a popular one. Again, I believe this is yet another holdover from the previous case, the 33 Ford Coupe or Coupe in Moon Eyes livery. Part of the Matchbox City, number 95 of 100. Pretty cool looking rat rod there. Again, yellow with black and red tampoing with, again, the Moon Eyes decals and company colors. Bigger tires at the rear, smaller tires at the front. Very nice looking. Here's certainly one of the highlights of the case, the 2020 Corvette C8. This is the mid-engined Corvette. Just awesome looking in this blue metallic finish. The rear has a Michigan plate that reads Corvette, which is appropriate, obviously, because General Motors is in Detroit. And you can actually see, it's hard to pick up on camera, but you can see the engine towards the rear window there. So, appears as though there's only one of those in the case. Excuse my arm. Next, we have, and that was number 47 of 100. This is number 63 of 100, part of the MBX Jungle Series, 65 Land Rover Gen 2. I'll be honest with you, it's unique looking, but I'm not a huge fan of those tan tires. They were going for muddy or dirty look. That's why they went with the tan plastic tires. I could certainly do without that. It doesn't make it look realistic at all. I believe the top portion of this is removable, and there might even be two different variations of this. I will have to look further into it. But the side tampo reads Safari, and Land Rover unit number 3, Jungle Safari. Interesting take on it. Next, we have the unofficial stain on the automotive world. This is the Toyota Prius in Matchbox rideshare livery. So the Matchbox M is very, very eerily similar to the Uber U in the font that they used. Interesting take on this. Take it or leave it. It is what it is. But it's nice to see a Toyota product in the Matchbox range, although this would be far from the one I would have chosen. Number 58 of 100. Next, we have, this will be an extremely popular one, number 78 of 100, part of the Matchbox Mountain series, MBX trailer trawler. So this by itself isn't all that impressive. What makes it very appealing is that it's in the reoccurring National Parks livery or theme. Just like the INC theme, every year Matchbox will add a couple or a few new installments to their National Parks livery. This one is a trailer. It does have a drilled through hitch on it, so you can hook this up to, for example, the Ford Explorer police car that we saw. And I also believe that the top of this, again, either opens or is removable. So again, this will be very hard to find. Very unique. Next, we have the 2010 Ford Animal Control Truck. I believe we've seen this truck before, but the livery is different on it. It has a dog, and I believe that's a raccoon. No, maybe that's a cat on it. Animal Protection Rescue, it reads on it. Interesting take on it. Number 32 of 100. As you can see, the body of the truck is plastic, and it has those roll-up cabinets for where it would transport animals. Next, we have probably the most anticipated model of the year for most people. Here it is, number 46 of 100. It was delayed several times. It was supposed to be in a few cases ago, But we finally have it, the 2018 Bugatti Divo. Check that out. So I guess the story goes, Matchbox lost the Bugatti license a number of years ago. They just recently reacquired it, and we've seen the prototype images and pictures of it. And again, because of the ongoing world situation, I guess this was delayed. It was questionable whether or not we'd see it before the year is over. But here it is, and there is no question that this will be very, very much sought after by most collectors. For me, I don't think there's anything all that spectacular about it, but it's certainly an interesting looking supercar. Again, number 46 of 100, and interestingly enough, part of the MBX Coastal Series. Moving right along, here's a car I love, and this was in the first case of the year, so it's nice to see it back in the last case of the year. This is the 1962 Mercedes-Benz 220 SE sedan. This is the kind of the chase car, if you will. This was the special edition Matchbox did to commemorate the first female touring car Grand Prix winner with Yui Rosequist, I believe is how you pronounce her name. Number 100 out of 100. Again, the interesting story with this is beginning of the year, Mattel was handing this casting out to, I believe, first graders, in particular, young female children, just to kind of tell them that they can do, to knock down the gender barriers and just encourage them that they can do whatever they wanted to do, and sharing the story of the first touring car champion. And obviously this is significant in the history of Mercedes-Benz as well. So it's nice to see this bookending the year. Next, here is the Chevy K 1500, based on a late 90s body style. Number 69 of 100, part of the MBX Mountain Series. It says Tours Trail Hiker on it. Interesting color combination. Not sure I would have gone with that, but it certainly contrasts well with the gray and then a yellowish orange for the interior and plastic components. But interesting nonetheless. The next two are doubles in the case, and again, these are holdovers from last case, and it is the LEVC TX Taxi, which is the current taxi that you will see in London, for example. Number 6 of 100, part of the MBX City Series. For my 2 cents, in my opinion, I would have loved to have seen, instead of 2 of these, maybe 2 Mercedes or 2 Bugattis, or maybe 2 of the more sought-after castings in this case, instead of having 2 vehicles that we've seen in previous cases. Here's another new casting in this final case of the year, number 90 of 100, part of the MBX Countryside. This is a 1956 Powell Sport pickup. So this is actually a real vehicle that was produced in the late 40s and into the 50s. Again, a very unique Matchbox-style casting. There's a license plate at the rear, red plastic interior. If you're a fan of pickup trucks, especially classic pickup trucks, this is one you're going to want to add to your collection. Up next, one for the British car fans, 1963 Austin Healey Roadster in British Racing Green, 55 of 100, again, part of the MBX City Series. Very nice looking convertible, black interior, gray bumper, and again, obviously the British Racing Green color. I think that looks pretty darn good. Down to the last 4. Here is the Polaris Slingshot. Nice fun vehicle, and it's doesn't say it on it, but as you can tell, it looks like they were kind of going for a Golf livery here, with the Golf light blue and bright orange. Interesting take on it. 57 of 100 MBX Highway Series once again. These are just a nice, fun little toy, especially if you're into three-wheelers or motorcycles, that kind of thing. All right, let's finish out the case with a 1933 Plymouth Sedan. Second time we've seen this. Last year it debuted in a classic police livery in brown. Now it's in a dark blue, which I think looks great. Number 40 of 100, again, part of the MBX City Series. This is a licensed casting, and it is the Geo Rescue, this time in Jungle Rides livery. Number 88 of 100, again, part of the MBX Jungle series. Interesting looking off-road rescue style vehicle. We saw this a few years ago. Definitely nice to see it back. And we'll conclude the case with one for the JDM fans. It's the Mazda MX5 Miata, number 35 of 100, in what can only be described as Matchbox Orange, because it is a dead-on match, and this convertible looks great. So, there you have it, collectors. That concludes the final case of 2020 for Matchbox Basic. Again, you can pick this case up now, and I will put it down in the description at JCarDiecast.com. Let me know what you think are the highlights of this case, which ones you're going to be chasing and looking for. I gotta say, for me, the Bugatti's cool, the Corvette's cool, the Mazda's cool, but really for me, probably the highlight out of this entire case is this one right here, the blue Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. As always, I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next review.